Hey guys, I have a fun readathon announcement coming for you here today. Angie from Angie Henderson and I are going to be hosting a Weekend with Agatha Readathon. Now, if you've been around here for a while, you know that I like me some Agatha Christie, and we wanted to do a readathon all about her, keep it simple. March is March Mystery Madness, so we're kind of just combining all the things. First, if you do not already follow Angie, I would highly recommend checking out her channel. If I had to pick one genre that she reads the most of, I would definitely say it's historical fiction, which is not something I pick up very often. So if you like my channel but you feel like I'm missing out on the historical fiction recommendations, check out Angie's channel. She has a really good list that she just put out of her favorite historical fiction from last year. I think I had read one book on that list, but I have a number on my TBR for the future, so go subscribe to Angie's channel and stick around here for all the information for the readathon. So March has tons of things going on. If you're participating in middle grade March Mystery Madness, there's also some kind of like Irish readathon thing. Lots of things going on in March. So we wanted to put this in a very busy month, but keep it so simple that anyone can join in, even if you're doing all the other readathons. So the whole point of the readathon is just to read Agatha Christie. We're not giving you any prompts or anything like that, but we are keeping it to a weekend. That is why it is Weekend with Agatha, and the weekend is March 12th to 13th. So that is a Saturday, Sunday, and the whole point is just to read some Agatha Christie that weekend. We are going to be doing a live chat / some reading sprints on the Saturday, March 12th, and this is going to be happening at 6:30 to 8:30 Mountain Time, which is Angie's time. And if I have my time zones correct, I think that's 7:30 to 9:30 my time. I am currently in CST, you guys, living in one of the few places that doesn't do daylight savings time when everyone else around you does is so confusing because time zones are always changing. But I think I have that right. And we're going to be doing that over on Angie's channel, so make sure you're following her so that you can be notified. I will also put something up in the community tab a day or two ahead of time so you know it's coming up. And for the reading sprints, all you have to do is bring an Agatha Christie book. We're going to do a little bit of reading together, and then we're also going to be doing some fun Agatha Christie related activities. Now, it's on me to be doing this part of the reading sprints, doing the live chat, kind of hosting that. If you have ideas of what we should do, let me know. I am hopefully going to come up with some fun things, but I'm also open to suggestions, so leave me some ideas. And then I want to share the books that I'm going to be reading for this reading weekend. I am hoping to get at least 3 books done. Is that too much? I'm not sure. But first I wanted to give a couple of recommendations. If you've never read any Agatha Christie, or you've read some but you just kind of like feel like it hasn't quite hit the sweet spot there for you yet, I want to give some recommendations. First, 2 books that I would say shy away from if you are going into the idea of a whodunit mystery. Agatha Christie, her book Endless Night is more the gothic horror side, which I kind of like that genre, but I didn't realize going into it that's what it was, so that was very different. And then she's also got a book called Passenger to Frankfurt, which has one of the best opening chapters that I've ever read, but apparently it's supposed to be like a political thriller. It was like ended up being one of the worst books I've ever read. So just if you're going into it, I feel like you can pick up a lot of her books and enjoy them, but she's got a few that are very different and they're not necessarily marketed as different, so you could pick it up thinking you're getting one thing and then end up getting something completely different. So I picked out 3 Agatha Christie books that I've read that I've enjoyed and would recommend for kind of an intro to her. So the first one is a book that I just recently read. This is Crooked House. I spent January trying to solve this mystery, have a video all about it in case you want to follow along as you read the book as well. I like this one because our mystery is contained to a house, so you know all the suspects are occupants of this house, and it's very like clear cut. This person is a suspect and this one isn't. Whereas a few of her other books, they have a larger cast of characters and sometimes you don't know who is supposed to be suspicious, and that makes it hard to follow or try to figure out. So I really liked Crooked House for that reason. One that I read last year is A Murder is Announced. This is a Miss Marple, and I love me some Miss Marple. She is not a huge figure in the Miss Marple books when she's the detective. She is the little old lady knitting in a corner, soaking everything up and picking up on things that people miss. And I really enjoyed A Murder is Announced. This is where there is an announcement in a newspaper that a murder is going to take place. Curious little village that this is. Everyone shows up and a murder actually does take place. So there's that one. And then one that I read around Christmas time, and it kind of is a bit more of a Christmas read than a March or spring read, but this is Midwinter Murder, and this is a bunch of Agatha Christie short stories that involve, some of them involve Miss Marple, some involve Poirot, some involve Tommy and Tuppence, and some don't involve any detective. And these are obviously all kind of set in winter. There's a lot of Christmas and New Year's short stories. So, I mean, obviously this isn't quite the time period for this, but I do own, this is my unread Agatha Christie here. Judging by how much I enjoyed this, I also own the complete short stories. Oh, is this all of them? I also have the Miss Marple short stories. But I'm thinking maybe these are the Poirot ones since it says his name so big. So I've got the Poirot short stories and the Miss Marple short stories. You could also pick up one of these books and read a few short stories during that reading weekend. And then onto my TBR for the weekend. I plan on reading 3 books, like I said, but I might try to squeeze in a 4th. So as of right now on my Patreon, people are voting to figure out which book I should be reading in March for the mystery that I'm going to be solving. In 2022, I'm trying to solve a Agatha Christie every month. And I'm doing a video here on YouTube sharing that, and then I am also sharing a longer cut of the video as I go back and forth between trying to figure out who's done it. And I've given my patrons the option of 4 different books this month. So they're currently in the middle of voting. I don't know which one of these is going to get picked, but these are options for that. We've got 450 from Paddington. This one is a Miss Marple. We've got The Secret Adversary. This is the first book in the Tommy and Tuppence series, which I haven't read any of these yet. We've got Evil Under the Sun, which is a Poirot book, and The Pale Horse, which is a non-detective book. I don't know who is going to be our narrator taking us through the story in this one. So these are currently the options for that. So depending when I end up reading this, the one that wins in March, I might be reading a little bit of one of these during that weekend. And then I have 3 Agatha Christie books that I think were my very first ones that I ever read by her. I read one on a trip, got sucked in, requested a bunch, enjoyed them all. But now it's been a while and I kind of don't remember what happened. So the first one I had read was The Hollow. I read this on a Mexican beach. It would have been 4 years ago? 4 years ago now, I think. I really enjoyed it at the time, but I don't remember anything. This is a Poirot book. Wow, I have no idea what happens in this book. So I want to reread this, reading it over a shorter period of time. I'm not really trying to solve the mystery because somewhere in my brain I know what happens, but it's been a while and I don't remember. And then after I finished The Hollow, I got on my library website, or I got on Libby, I think, and I was requesting a bunch of ebooks to read because I was loving this. So then the next one I read was The Moving Finger. It is a book that I have yet to amass in my Agatha Christie collection. The few times that it's been available to me, I haven't been fast enough to get it. So I am getting that one from the library. And that was my first Miss Marple book, and I loved it. And I want to reread it because I think it is one of my favorite Agatha Christie books, but do I really know? I'm not sure. I need to reread it to remember. And then I did the standard And Then There Were None next. And this one I read, I do remember who did it. A bunch of people get called to an island and people are picked off one by one. And one of the people that are there is the murderer. And I do remember who did it, but now I would like to reread it and see if I can pick up on the clues. So those are 3 books that I read really quickly, and I would like to reread them, see where they stand in my favorites now. I'm definitely going to be doing a Agatha Christie favorites video after this year, after all the Agatha Christie that I've been reading. I need to update the video that I have. I did one about a year ago, but it's going to be needing some updating. Okay, so I think that's everything. Sorry I'm talking so fast. I'm obviously really excited about this readathon because Weekend with Agatha, Angie came up with that idea. I feel like that is the perfect English sounding weekend. I'm going to be drinking some hot drinks and all the things. So let me know if you're going to be joining. Let me know which Agatha Christie book you are going to be picking out for the weekend, or trying, or short stories, or whatever it is you're going to be picking up. So make sure you're following along with Angie as well so you can join us in the live stream. Thanks so much for being here, guys.